American Adversaries on 660 WORL. If you can take it.
We're going to have to update that because we're also on FM 105.5. Welcome back to the show, folks. That's right. You got the American Adversaries 3-hour classic autumn tour as we start into the second half hour of the first hour of the 3-hour show on FM 105.5. AM 660 The Answer. Christopher Hart here, along with Aubrey Kahn, General Lucas Paris, Carl Jackson, and Jeff Sinnis on the bridge. 407-774-8255. I think I said that. In case I didn't, I just did it again. We were talking about this, the attacks that are going to be coming hot and heavy on Trump, and he addressed them today. He said, "Bring it on," basically. But Aubrey, as we went into the break.
Yeah, the establishment, the Republican establishment, has been sitting at the feet of Hillary Clinton and President Obama when it comes to dirty politics.
Yeah, well, like I said, this is all about winning the elections at the end of the day, and people putting first and foremost that goal, and doing basically anything that they'll, the ends justifies the means. And this is the nature of politics in America. It always has been. It's never been any different, believe you me. Back in the early days, it got a lot nastier than this. And Trump certainly didn't shy away or cry foul. He just said, "Bring it on," and I'll respond in like, kind, plus. Now, having said all of that, Carl was making some observations.
Actually, I was going to say something different. I agree with you in that I don't think campaigns will work against Trump. I think Rush says it succinctly, and he says it correctly, I believe. The media didn't make Trump, so they can't destroy Trump.
Right.
And that's one reason why I don't believe typical ads against Trump will work. It's one of these things is he's got so many supporters. If you hit him, it not only emboldens him, it emboldens his supporters because they're like, "Don't mess with my guy." Whereas you can see, this is the only way Trump will lose is if people start growing skeptical or doubtful of him. Right now, we see Dr. Ben Carson. Now, he's not in a landslide, but when I'm looking at the real clear average polls, every indicator shows that nationally and in Iowa, New Hampshire, so on, he's sliding a little bit. What has happened with Dr. Ben Carson? There's a major difference between Dr. Carson and Donald Trump. And that difference being people have heard Dr. Carson, and as brilliant and as smart as he is, he's said some things that has left doubt in their minds. And as a matter of fact, my church is a great microcosm. Tons of people go there, and they come to me every week to talk about it. So I had two people today that told me they were voting for Trump. They don't want to anymore. I had 2 people today that told me they were voting for Dr. Carson and they don't want to anymore for two different reasons. But for Dr. Carson, it was they're just not sure that he's going to be as strong as Trump or Cruz on foreign policy. They're not sure if his convictions are as strong. And that's what people want to be safe. As much as people talk about hating war and this and that, people want to be safe. And then when you see ISIS attacking people in theaters and cafes, guess what? People start thinking, okay, our government is supposed to protect us again. And then they want the guy that they think is going to be able to do that.
As a matter of fact, ABC national poll says who would be best against terrorism amongst the Republicans at 42%. You want to take a guess?
I would say Trump.
Guess who is second at 14?
I would say Cruz.
Kasich.
Kasich.
And Cruz is a little bit behind that. But Trump, by far and away, is seen as the most capable of handling the terrorist threat. And by the way, when you ask about economics, guess who is in similar position with similar numbers? Donald Trump. And when you look at what are the 2 major issues that people are worried with, of course, it's been the economy for a long time, but now guess what's running a very, very close second, or perhaps nosing it out? Terrorism. Terrorism and the economy. Let's see. Trump's way ahead in handling the terrorism issue. He's way ahead in handling the economy issue. I would suggest that all of this money that is fixing to be wasted on going after him with impersonators and made-up stories and trying to make issues out of things that most people really don't care about in the overall scheme of things, because like Carl said, at the end of the day, people just want to be able to safely go to their shopping mall to buy Christmas presents and safely be able to spend a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas without having to worry about being shot or molested or whatever. Okay, and whoever they think is going to be able to provide that for them, that's who they're going to gravitate toward. That's where they need to be spending their money, trying to prove that these other fellas can do that. Now, unfortunately, when you look at them compared to when you look at Trump, only 2 or 3 of them actually look like they belong on the same stage with the man. And those 2 or 3, I think, are Carson, Cruz, and Rubio. And the rest of them don't even look like they belong, as I said, in the same room, so to speak, with him, because he just so projects just such an image of being in control and confident that he can get things done. And believe me, if you look through his speeches, the confidence that he has at the end of the day is not in himself. Do you know who it's in?
The American people.
The American people. And people who he can go to for advice. Generals, he says he'll find that MacArthur or that Patton. He oftentimes throws about the name of his buddy Carl Icahn. In other words, he's saying, we have brilliant minds who already have the solutions. All we need to do is find them, ask them what they need, and cut them loose. That's what he means by good management. Now, having said all that, can he win the general election? When it comes up to a head-to-head against Hillary Clinton, he beats her. He doesn't beat her as much as Rubio. He doesn't beat her as much as Jeb. But he doesn't beat her as much as Carson at this point. But he does beat her. Now, Carl's in the same school as Lair Adams, and it gives me cold chills because Lair is so perturbingly correct when it comes to these things. He just has a knack for it. He doesn't think that Trump could beat Hillary Clinton. In another day and age, I would agree with you. In this particular moment, though, no. He would whip Hillary Clinton. My concern is, could he beat Joe Biden? Because it might very well be that he will be the nominee. I don't think it's over yet in the Democratic Party.
I'd agree with you there.
I really do not think it's over yet.
I think they're sitting and waiting.
Especially when a poll comes out the other day showing her with 49%, a nationwide poll, Bernie Sanders 33. Don't forget, who cares what Bernie Sanders is? 49% for Hillary Clinton in the national Democrat poll?
She slipped from about 60.
Yeah. So I don't doubt that that's not over on that side. And any of the Republicans, I think, would really spank Hillary. And she's got a big target. She makes a big target.
Go ahead, Aubrey.
Talking about spanking Hillary.
Just stop repeating it, okay?
Question for you. If Hillary Clinton is a congenital liar, would that make her transgender?
Trans liar, maybe. I don't know. Carl,
I lost my train of thought after that one.
That will make you lose something. Maybe your supper too, if you're not careful. But I know you're not sold on Donald Trump being able to win a general election.
No, and I got to tell you the truth. I'm not necessarily sold on any Republican. Let me say that, being able to win. As much as, all right, there's several Republicans I like. I would say that Cruz is definitely my favorite. Carson has definitely grown on me. I'm skeptical about Rubio, but would I pull the trigger for him? I think so. I feel the same about Fiorina. Would I pull the trigger for her? I think so. But I'm skeptical because here's what we're facing, and no one's. I don't think we're considering this. When it comes to Trump, for one, Trump isn't going to win as much as the evangelical voters people think. Just plain and simple, think what you like. I know there's a lot of Christians going for him. I believe with all of my heart, I believe I'm correct on this. Just as Romney was unable to capture and and inspire a lot of the vote, I don't think Trump will be able to do it as well. Now, when it comes to war, I think what benefits Trump, obviously, is if he can keep talking about, there's three things he's got to talk about. Always. Border, the economy, and beating ISIS. If he sticks to those three talking points, sure. If anyone gets him off on two other ones, I think he's in real danger. But I think this is the case with every Republican, because what we have to get is that there's a lot of mad and angry people on the left, and that's all they're incentivized by. And we're looking at states that have to be states that are purple.